political beliefs that are controversial. Not controversial, but like usual things that people debate about, like abortion.
Okay.
Are you
Easy. Right.
abortion, pro or against?
Against.
Against abortion.
Well, it's kind of
rapid fire. Rapid fire.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But if I was to say pro or against, I would say against, because I think you're more often than not, you know exactly what it is that you're getting into.
Same. And before, I used to be like, just go for it. If it is your body, your choice.
Right.
But no, now I'm against abortion.
Right.
I'm
the baby.
Pro unless it's for me. So the way I see it is it's like if I'm dating a girl, she's not having an abortion. I'm personally against abortion. I don't care what other people do. I'm liberal.
I think
feel the
ultimately
same
it's the
way.
same thing. Like
I feel
don't
the
give a fuck
same
what you
way.
do.
Like, because
You're not aborting my baby,
morally,
but a baby, your baby,
because
kill your baby. I don't care.
people will use the
I don't know.
what was the word? They'll use the outlier, or I should say the smaller percentage of, okay, if it's a victim of sexual assault, you have a situation like that, or it's a freak accident situation, you can't provide for the child, whatever the case is. If it's a matter of sexual assault and you have to abort the child, I completely understand and support. I have no issue with that. But
he's the most conservative one now.
Right,
He's the one that's like,
no.
Because if you were engaging in unprotected sex and you knew this is a product, because what's the purpose of sex? To procreate.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just a recreational act. Now, it's become recreational because people are doing it. But if you know this is a product of you engaging in unprotected sex, you busting nuts up inside women, you're not protecting
abortion,
yourself, whatever
my
the
baby,
case is.
I don't care. You got do whatever you want though.
But see, I don't like
do
that.
that. I don't like that.
Because I've seen this even about kids in public school. They're like, worry about your own kid. You don't even have kids. What do you care what they're teaching them?
Right.
Because then it becomes a societal thing.
Yep.
So it's like, I care about my kid, but I don't care what you do with your kid. Then that sort of freedom that people get becomes a thing that my kids will then have to deal
because
with.
it becomes a live, let live sort of situation.
But then here's the thing though.
So I do care what other people do, because then it'll affect my kids and my grandkids. And
Okay,
stuff.
but to the same extent,
the world that they live in.
If you say, hey, you shouldn't be allowed to have an abortion, they should also be able to say, hey, you shouldn't care what they teach in schools. They're going to teach you this in school. Because, like we say, hey, stay away. There's a big controversial one, but there was, like they're saying that they're teaching, like, gay stuff in schools. Right?
Yeah.
I say, hey, fuck it, teach your kids that, stay away from my kids. In the same way that, hey, if you want to abort your kid, go ahead, stay away from my kid.
Nah, I don't like that, because those kids are going to be my kid's boss. They're going to be lawmakers. They're going to be politicians. They're going to be cops. And I don't know what sort of propaganda is being fed to them at that age. And I don't want to live in that world. And you shouldn't be teaching kids that. It's none of your business. Kids don't need to know that. And also,
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
So I do care what other people are teaching their kids and what they're teaching in public schools, even though I don't have a kid. Because that is the future.
But that's what I'm saying. Who makes you the king of the world to dictate what other people do with their kids?
Well, I'm not. It's not like I'm going over here with like a gun and telling everyone.
No.
Like,
I think what you do within your house, that can be completely different. But if it's if you're going to public school, that's now it's spread out amongst.
Yeah, I'm paying for that.
Analogy.
Right. So that's where I think the populace should dictate.
Vaccine then. If you believe that people shouldn't be able to have abortions, then you can't say, "Oh, my body, my choice." You can't say my body, my choice when it comes to the vaccine. Why do you have freedom when it comes to the vaccine, but you don't have freedom when it comes to abortions?
Well, that's okay. Back 2020.
You can't have it both ways.
No, hold on. I agree with you. Hang on. 2020, David would have been like, well, because other people will, you'll get other people sick. You should get vaccinated for public health. But that's bullshit. Again, you should have the option, but the government didn't give you the option. They were like, you have to get this to work, to do this, to fly, to do all that. And that's bullshit.
But I look at abortion the same way. If the government doesn't give you an option to have an abortion, you should have the option to have an abortion.
You should.
If you want.
You should. I agree.
And the same with the vaccine. You should have the option to take the vaccine.
That's why I think with the it's a matter of what your thoughts on it.
If they force the vaccine on you, it's the same thing as forcing an abortion or not having an abortion. They should let you do whatever you want.
I think you should have the choice to do so.
That's the issue I have with
you should have the choice to
conservatives.
do so. However, if you were to ask me what my thoughts were morally, I'm not saying cancel it completely, but if what I think about it morally, I'd say no. More, but I understand why.
I don't know if you should have the choice to do so, because it's different.
I think you should have the choice to do so.
So that's the thing that I dislike, and this problem applies to both liberal or conservative people, and this is why I feel like I'm right in the middle. Because if you're conservative, it's like no, you can't have abortion. You can't force you can force women to have a baby,
right?
But you can't force me to do it with my body when it comes to a shot. And then on the liberal side, it's like, oh, my body, my choice. Okay, if that's the case, why are you forcing people to take a
Right.
Because it's not
I'm
that,
there with you.
It's
I'm
not
there with you.
that clear
Right.
cut. My body, my choice. Right?
It is, though.
Because in theory, it should be that clear cut, but it doesn't seem as if that's the case. I understand where you're coming from as well.
These little slogans,
Yeah.
like "My body, my choice," is so interesting because. So what does that mean? Just because it's your body, it's your choice to do whatever you want. So okay, so if it's my body, my choice, do I have the freedom to just swing it this way and just hit whoever's in front of me because it's my body, my choice?
No, but it would be the same thing as like the vaccine then. Just because your body, if you don't take the vaccine, you're gonna spread it to other people. You're gonna spread COVID to other people. So it's like one of those things where if it is your body, your choice, you should be able to do what you want. Anyway, so we have our stances on the vaccine, forcing the vaccine, abortion. What's the other topics?
What's another?
Yeah, because
gun control.
Oh, I'm pro gun.
Pro gun. I think we're all pro gun.
Yeah,
listen, the only thing that controls my gun is this right here, baby.
Right, and I'm from New York, so it's brutal. Because the only reason why I say it is because my biggest argument I've always had against, let's add more restriction, which I understand. Nobody should really be able to just get AR-15 left and right if you want, right, at whatever particular age. But the biggest issue I have when they say, all right, let's just take away people's guns is criminals break the law. That's what makes you a criminal.
Right,
so
yeah.
if you're in a situation where you now take the guns out of the hands of the actual law-abiding citizens, the good gun owners, where
then
there's
we're
the
fucked.
vast majority
Drugs are illegal.
more,
People stop
right?
drugs.
Exactly.
Hey,
That's exactly my point.
murder is illegal.
Right? Murder's illegal. Rape's illegal. All of these things are illegal. There's people who break the law. We call them criminals.
Facts.
You take all of the deterrence that exists in the world away from the people who actually do it the right way. Now the only people who have their hands on them are the
bad
criminals.
guys.
Because guess what? If you're somebody who follows the law, the moment that the law were to pass, all of this is illegal. If you don't want to be considered a criminal, you'll give your stuff back, right? Now, of course, we have the general population who's like, no, fuck that, I'm not giving it back, which I completely understand. But if you now take it out of the hands of the actual good gun owners, now all of the criminals will say, oh, great, I know you don't have this anymore. We can go run amok.
What's the criminal going to think? Like, oh, I really want to shoot up this school, but guns are illegal.
Right. Right. It didn't make, I always thought about like open carry
about?
states like Texas or stuff like that. If a criminal, and there's always been the go-to argument I've always used, even since high school, I've always used the same one. Let's just say you're in Texas, you walk into a saloon, right? And this is somebody who is a criminal. You walk in there with a gun.
The hell's a
and
saloon?
Your goal is to go in, it's like an old school bar, but you go into this saloon or a bar or a restaurant, whatever, and your entire goal is to rob the place and leave. It's different if your goal was to go in there, kill people, and then go out in a blaze of glory or nefarious intent, if you will. But if you go in there like, all right, this is an open carry state, everybody has a gun. You go in there with the thought process of, all right, I may be able to take some people out, but somebody's going to get me.
Yeah, there's definitely at least one guy with a gun.
Versus going into a particular kind of state where nobody's armed.
Yeah.
Right.
You have the complete leverage. I would rather have a situation where if everybody is armed or everybody has the option to be armed, you as a criminal, you don't know.
The equivalent of this with countries would be like a nuclear stalemate.
Exactly. That's what deterrence is for.
There's no world wars anymore because everyone's like that fucking.
Exactly. It's the Spider-Man meme. It's like, all right, you want to fire a nuke.
It's
great.
like,
we have technology to where we know you fired a nuke, so everybody's going to fucking die.
So it's like, what? Like, you going to do this right now?
That's always been my take on it.
And the wise words of Meek Mill, he said, you fuck around, get smoked.
Yep.